Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today this is a video on how to make an autumnal bouquet. In front of me I've just separated all of the flowers so that they're easier for me to grab when I'm putting in the bouquet. I have started off with one rose in the middle and then surrounded it with 2 or 3 of the other main heads that I've got. In this bouquet I've got roses, I've got blooms, I've got germinis which are mini gerberas, and I've just added a lily. Now you always want to keep space in between these flowers and make sure that you don't put 2 of the main flowers together. Always leave room in between the flowers so that you can add some greenery and some fillers. I'm just adding some thistle, and in between that you would have seen that I've just added some berries too, just to partition and separate the flowers. I'm just adding in some more blooms here, separated with some berries. And I'm just picking up some pumpkins on sticks. These mini pumpkins have been so popular this year. They're so cute and they're so seasonal. They can go in any bouquet. They go really well in pink bouquets too, actually. Now what you can see I'm doing here is just lifting the single stems so that they're above the greenery, because sometimes what can happen is they can drop in the bouquet and they can get mixed in with the greenery and the foliage, and that's not what the greenery and the fillers, and that's not what I like. I like the main flowers to be quite visible as soon as you look at the bouquet. I'm just adding in some Alstro. I use this as filler too. And again, all of these colours are very autumny. They're oranges and reds and browns and burgundies. Another very important note I should add here is to always strip your stems before you make the bouquet. You don't want the greenery on the stems to get in the water, because the water will get messy, it'll get murky, and it won't stay fresh for too long. I'm just adding in some germinis. The whole time I'm always looking at the bouquet from above just to see what it looks like, just to make sure it's got its right roundness, just to make sure that everything is in place where it should be. I've got a mirror on the left on the radiator that I keep putting the bouquet into, just so I can see what it looks like from above. And again, there's no right way or wrong way of making a bouquet. This is just how I choose to make the bouquet. This is how I've always made bouquets. I'll play around with it. I'll make sure that all the flowers look okay. If there's something that's out of place, then I'll move it. I'll take it out and replace it. I have got some greenery on my stems there, but I take them out before I put the bouquet in a bubble of water. I'm just knocking the bouquet on the table now so that it gives it knocks room into the actual bouquet. I know it sounds silly, but when you when you bang it on the table, you just free up the top of the bouquet. And again, I've just seen that there's a gerbera that shouldn't be in its place, so I've taken that out. I took a bloom out as well. I've just put the gerbera back in. Having another look in the mirror in the camera, and I've just seen a gap and just filled it with a rose. There's not another rose in that area, so the rose fits perfectly. And I'm happy with the bouquet, so I'm just going to tie it. I always keep one hand on the bouquet when tying, because from past experiences I've learned that if you put the bouquet down on the table, sometimes they can lose their shape, they can flatten out, they can roll and all that sort of stuff. So I always make sure I've got one hand on the bouquet when tying. And that is the finished bouquet. This isn't the actual finished bouquet, because I went over this and I looked to see if there was anything I didn't like, anything that was out of place, anything that didn't fit well. I went over the petals and removed that one because it was sticking out and I didn't like it. It didn't have a round shape, so I just took that petal off that orange rose there. And yeah, I've just gone over the bouquet, made sure that everything is as should be, and now I am wrapping the bouquet. I like using bags to wrap my bouquets because I think they look amazing. I think they look absolutely stunning. So with the tissue paper, you just want to lay out rectangle pieces of tissue paper and fold it. Fold them into a point so that you've got 4 points, just like that. And then you want to put the bouquet in the middle and then sellotape it. Sellotape is my enemy. It always sticks to me when it shouldn't. It sticks to things that it shouldn't stick to, and I'm always fighting with it. So you just want to stick the tissue paper so that it's got 4 points, just like that. And yeah, move on to the second piece. You want to duplicate the fold again with the other piece of with the other piece of tissue paper. But instead of putting it in the same place, you want to put it on the flat pieces of tissue paper so that your bouquet has 8 points. So yeah, you just want to stick it so that it's got 8 points. Just like that. Move it around a little bit. Move the tissue paper. Don't be afraid to move it, because it shouldn't tear if you're handling it well. And I noticed that one of the points wasn't sticking up as much as the others, so I'm just cutting this bit of tissue paper to make an extra corner, because I didn't like the way it looked. Yeah, I just make a makeshift corner just to put on that last corner that wasn't showing on the actual bouquet. So I just stick that on there. Just like that. And now it's got 8 points. And now I move on to doing the cellophane. This cellophane is my favourite. I love it. I like to use like a plainer cellophane on the outside of the bouquet, just because I always match my tissue paper to the bouquet. Now here you can see that I've cut the cellophane to a square shape instead of rectangle. When you cut it to a square shape and you fold it, the points are closer together. So if you remember, the tissue paper, the corners were quite far apart, but now I've cut the cellophane into squares. They will the corners are closer together, and it just looks better on the outside of the bouquet. So you want to make the same shape as you just saw me do. You want to make the same shape as you did with the tissue paper, and then sellotape it exactly the same way. You want to do one sheet of cellophane on one side of the bouquet, do the same shape, and then stick it on the second half of the bouquet. Just like that. And that is the finished look. This is the finished look. I've wrapped the bouquet in a bubble of water. This is the finished look, guys. I just thought I'd add some videos and pictures of it finished once it's all wrapped and in the bag. I hope you really like this video, and let me know what you want to see from me next. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.